8.6 million people in the US have illness from smoking. I personally have lost someone to a smoking illness, and we both know people in our generation have started smoking at a younger age. Now, young adults don't have to deal with smoking problems if they don't start in the first place. And if you know someone who is smoking or a smoker yourself, you can use the information we're going to talk about today to help them or help yourself. Now, what we're going to talk about are the problems of smoking, solutions for smoking, and a visualization without smoking. Now, the problem with smoking, there's an actual cost to it, both physically and health-wise. Now, most people spend about $5,000 a year on cigarettes. That can add up to about $2 million in their lifetime. That's a lot of money. Now, health problems, about 1 out of 5 deaths is from smoking. You have a 200% chance of getting a heart attack if you smoke. This also includes like health risks like with cancer. And in a study from 1997 to 2005 that concluded in 2011, took ages 30 and older, which was about 90,000 people out of the US population at the time, was about 73 million. And 7.3 started before the age of 13, 11% started at the age of 13 to 14, 24% started at 15 to 16-year-old, 24% and a half started at 17 to 8-year-old smoking, and 14% started at 19 to 20-year-old, and 18% started at 21-year-old. Now, about half of it started between 15 and 18 years old. Think about that. That's a lot out of 90,000 people. Now, in a more recent study in 2015 by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 19 out of every 100 adults who live in the Midwest smoke. Now, this region has the most out of any other region percentage of smoking like that. And how we can fix that is with a solution. And our solution is to start with like the main source, and that's the young adults. Now, to help some of the young adults, here are some ways we can do that. We can create a world where seeing smoking in tobacco products is an exception, not a norm. We take it too lightly these days. Second, take steps to make it harder for youth to attain it. You just have your driver's license, walk in, get it, and there you go, like 18-year-old. So, then third, we need to limit tobacco marketing. Marketing has gone up. They're appealing to younger audiences. 4, limit exposure to smoking in movies and media. If you see someone who's famous and you look up to them and you see them smoking, you're gonna go, hey, that's cool, I should do that. 5, we need to educate the youth more. We do that plenty like when they're younger, but when you get to high school, towards that age where it comes more, like you turn 18, schools don't really talk about that much because they think you're wise enough to make your own decisions about that. And finally, set examples. If you smoke yourself, don't just be like, oh, you guys need to stop smoking. Do it yourself. Don't just, heck on them and not stop yourself. Now, Jordan's going to continue with other solutions and a visualization.
So it's hard to stop smoking because the nicotine gets you addicted to cigarettes, but it's best to stop before you're 30 because then you can avoid some of the health consequences and you have a better chance of recovering when you're younger. Some ways to resist smoking is nicotine replacement therapy and delay. So just try waiting 10 minutes before you have your next cigarette and then just keep waiting longer and longer periods in between. Avoid triggers, so things that cause you to want to smoke. Try chewing gum and seeds instead of cigarettes. Don't decide to just have one cigarette because chances are you're probably just gonna keep having more. Try doing some physical activities. Try relaxation techniques and call for reinforcements, get people to help you to try and quit smoking. There's also a lot of good online support that you can get to help you to quit. And remind yourself of the benefits that it can help you with your health and your family too. If we could stop smoking, the world would be a better place. As you can see, smoking causes a lot of disease and death. If we didn't smoke, we wouldn't have that problem. Secondhand smoke is a big problem. Families that have people who smoke, and if you work with people who smoke, you're at a greater risk. People who don't smoke can get cancer just from being around other people. And it also hurts families, because if they don't make a lot of money in the first place, and then the parents spend all their money on cigarettes, then the kids might not get the food or clothing that they need. So if we didn't smoke, then we wouldn't have that problem. It also costs us a lot for tax money. According to the American Lung Association, it costs $170 billion each year for healthcare because of smoking-related illnesses. So instead we could spend that money on schools or roads, things that would help everybody. So if young adults don't have to deal with the problems of smoking, or they wouldn't have to if they just didn't start in the first place. It's hard to stop smoking, and it has a lot of health issues and consequences, and it's not a cheap addiction. So go out and help your family and friends to stop smoking, and be the generation that ends smoking.